Hi everyone. So today I wanted to show you all a recipe that has become quite popular, and that is Dan noodles. And I think everybody really likes it because of that creamy kind of like tahini peanut butter dressing. But it is also a noodle that is super easy to make. Like I could see someone being hungry at 2 a.m. in the morning, whipping this all up in 15 minutes. And so I will do my best to explain to you all the different parts of it and then how to make it today. There's really three parts to a Dan noodle. First up is the sauce, and the biggest change that I'll be making today is instead of using roasted tahini, which you can find in Chinese grocery stores, people have just opted to use peanut butter instead because that's roasted, it's already really fragrant. The way that you start off this sauce is actually you mix the peanut butter with some water just to thin it down so that it's easier to be mixed around with the rest of the sauce. Okay, so the last thing to the sauce is Sichuanese chili oil, and I'll put the recipe up there because we've made that together before, but you can also purchase it either online or in stores. And if you can't find that, I know most people can find probably like the Li Kum Ki Chu Chow chili oil, so you can use that. It's a little bit, it's obviously different, but the flavor is still pretty nice. And also, if you don't like things to be spicy, you can actually omit it because this sauce is super yummy already. Is the finished sauce. It can actually hold in the refrigerator for like a week, probably even a little bit more because there's nothing that really goes bad in this. You can also like freeze it ahead of time, so it's a really good sauce to make. So the second part of Dan noodles is the meat crumbles that go on top, and they're separate from the sauce. And traditionally how it's made is it's just fatty pieces of pork that you cook down with maybe some ginger, some garlic. The Chinese also use a preserved, kind of like a pickled vegetable that is salty and has, I would say, little tastes of plum. And most people are not going to have that. I don't even know if most people have this, but this is the da tai, which is like a pickled mustard green, and it's really nice. It offers like little flecks of something salty. You can put that in, or you don't have to do that at all because we're gonna substitute with other stuff as well. Two big things, actually, what I've liked doing is, so I have some vegan meat crumbles here. Usually you get them frozen in the, whatever supermarket grocery section. And then I have some chopped up shiitake mushrooms. So they were dried shiitake mushrooms before. I just chopped them up. You could probably use fresh as well. And the reason that I have liked using these two in combination for the meat is because the mushrooms, like the chewy texture of mushroom, reminds me a lot of like the little fat bits of pork. And some people are going to be completely grossed out by that. But in addition, I also think it adds like a different texture, a different chewy texture to the meat. So that's going to be like, I think, much nicer of a mouthfeel. Although you can just completely skip this and then just do the meat crumbles alone.
Stream shot to me, the streets are free. Go ahead and take from me.
It is true, normally you would put in a little bit of oil to fry this up, but I don't always think that that's necessary.
Feeling right out of line. Gotta hit my boy Ricky for the way up the time. Proud of giving, but it's nothing but the climb and grind. Take the time, tripping over space and time. My mind in line, speaking like a god of time. My modest mind, speaking from my heart, a kind of way to find another way to pass the time. I made my mind a station kind of race. Yeah, running, got me gunning. Old school cat, got me stunning. Funny how the rest won't come in. Funny how you back for loving. I got one too many tricks up my sleeve. I mustn't leave. Overdose of empathy. My pops and me. More screenshots of me. The streets are free. Go ahead and take from me. Break a mirror, fight fire with fear. Kicking the highest gear. You're on the highest tier. And when you're contemplating about a nation breaking, don't erase a fight will take a say.
Okay, so step 3 to the Dan Dan noodles is just making the noodles, and that way they're a little bit warm and it'll warm up the rest of your dish. The word Dan Dan actually is like an onomatopoeia for just how chewy and al dente the noodles are. And of course, if you guys can get your hands on like alkaline noodles, or like, you know, like the noodles that they use for ramen where it's like nice and chewy and it has a nice bite to it, that's great. But nowadays I just feel like I see people just using something like this. So if you can just get your hands on some white wheat noodles that are thicker, kind of like circular white noodles that are just thicker. And whatever you do, just make sure not to overcook it. Like, I would rather you err on the side of having it be slightly raw than to overdo it, because otherwise it ruins the whole dish. During this point, we can also cook some of our vegetables. So typically, like bok choy is the vegetable. You can also use any kind of other greens that you would like. I'm going to top it off with some cucumbers as well, and usually fried peanuts are put on top as just like a nice added crunch. But you know, if you don't want to fry, just feel free to just toast the peanuts, and then we'll put everything together.
Overdose of empathy, my pops and me. More screenshots of me, the streets are free. Go ahead and take from me. Feeling right, out of line. Gotta hit my boy Ricky for the way up of time. Proud of driven, but it's nothing but the time to grind. Take the time, tripping over space and time. My mind and line, speaking like a god of time. My modest mind, speaking from my heart, a kind of way to find another way to pass the time. I made my mind a station kind of race. Yeah, running, got me gunning. Old school cat, got me stunning. Funny how the rest won't come in. Funny how you back for loving. I got one too many tricks on my sleeve. I mustn't leave. Overdose of empathy, my pops and me. More screenshots of me. The streets are free. Go ahead and take from me. Break a mirror, fight fire with fear. Kicking the highest gear. You're on the highest tier. And when you're contemplating about a nation breaking, don't erase a fight will take a say. And take the middle road, hate to hear it. Go break your spirit, go waste a year. So tell yourself that you go be enough. When the time's rough, it's kinda hard to hear it. So I'm holding big dreams, sending you a plan for a life of schemes. I'm struggling to hold on, knowing that you're gone in your own. Yeah, running, got me gunning. Old school cat, got me stunning. Funny how the rest gon' come in. Funny how you back for loving. I got one too many tricks up my sleeve. I mustn't leave. Overdose of empathy, my pops and me. More screenshots of me. The streets are free. Feeling no one feel for me. Running, got me gunning. Old school cat, got me stunning. Funny how the rest gon' come in. Funny how you back for loving. I got one too many tricks up my sleeve. I mustn't leave. Overdose of empathy, my pops and me. More screenshots of me.
Hi
The
everyone.
streets are free.
So
Go ahead and
today
take from me.
I wanted. Hi everyone. So today, hi everyone. So